All right, so our video is on. We're going to start. So welcome everybody to this new way of doing yoga together. And we're going to start on our back. So if you want to lie down and just find a comfortable position, just make sure that your body is well supported by the floor and that there's a little bit of symmetry, so your arms are as far away from your body on either side, that your head is in line with your spine, your legs are just again in a symmetrical position, but you can relax and let your legs relax and your feet open out a little bit if you wish. And as usual, we're going to start with a little bit of breathing today, so very slowly bring the focus onto your breath. And again, if that's possible, we're going to breathe in and out through our nose. And if you enjoy doing Ujjayi breath, you can shift to Ujjayi right now. And just take a moment to inhale and feel that sense of widening, of opening in your chest. Feel the diaphragm doming down towards the belly button. There's lots of room for your inhalation. And then slowly start to exhale or at your own rhythm. And again, just a gentle contracting. And as you breathe in and breathe out, I invite you to think about openness, about opening with this practice tonight. So each inhalation is a chance to physically experience that sense of openness. And even as you exhale and the ribcage gently contract, the diaphragm gently moves back up towards your heart. Just still think that you're just opening, maybe opening your heart, opening your consciousness, your mind as you breathe in and breathe out. And I chose the theme of opening because the last few months for many of us have been a lot about contracting, about drawing in, about feeling like we need to stay inward, stay inside, lock down, all those words. So we're trying to just contradict that by opening. With each breath, we're just creating a little bit of space. We're just opening to this moment, opening to the beauty that surrounds us in this season, opening to anything that is part of our life that we feel it's a good idea to open to. And to help you with that, I have one first quote by Jonathan Lockwood Huey, who said, "Joy blooms where minds and hearts are open." Joy blooms where minds and hearts are open. So allowing that sense of openness to be with you today, and just letting that sense of joy seep in as well. Each inhalation, you feel your heart, your lungs, your rib cage widening, opening. And you stay with that opening even as you exhale and the body physically gently contracts. You continue to breathe and to feel that sense of opening, I invite you with your mind's eye to just visit your body and to see if there's any places that need a little bit more focus with that sense of opening. Maybe it's in your shoulders, maybe it's in your feet, maybe it's in your brain, anywhere, any part of your body that you feel needs a little opening. Just direct the breath and that sense of inhaling and opening into that part of your body. And once you've focused on this one part of your body for a little while, or at at any time you can shift to another part. Maybe your knees need a little opening, or any part of your body that you sense needs that, would benefit from opening, from widening, from taking up space. Then see if you can continue with that sense of opening with your breath to allow your entire body to open with each breath. So not just the rib cage, but your entire body just feels like it's lifted, like it's widening, like it's opening with each inhalation, and stay in that state of openness even as you exhale. And see if you can extend that sense of openness, of opening even beyond your body, so that the space that surrounds your body is opening with each inhalation. And you maintain that sense of openness even as you exhale. From here, I invite you to grab a strap, and remember, for people at home, if you have like ties that you can, attach together, like anything, it doesn't have to be a yoga strap, just something that could act as a strap is great. And we're going to stay on our back, and because this is our first class in a long time, we're going to start with some hamstring stretches. So take a moment just to align your legs so that they are parallel. Their feet should be perpendicular, or you can keep your knees bent, whichever is best for you. And establishing and maintaining a gentle curve in your low back, we're going to hug our right knee to our chest. And remember, I'm mirror imaging. And placing your strap against the ball of your right foot. Extend the right leg up toward the ceiling. Or if it's better for you, you can interlace the fingers behind your right thigh, whichever you feel is more appropriate for you right now. And take a moment to gently press your heel away from you, to curl the toes up on that right foot. And again, as you breathe in and out, see if you can create a little bit more opening at the back of your right leg, at the back of your right thigh. And then slowly we're going to start to move. So exhaling, ball of the foot to the ceiling. Toes remain curled up. Your foot looks like it's in a high heel shoe, or like you're pressing on the gas pedal. Inhaling, press your heel away from you and curl the toes down toward your heart. Exhaling again, ball of the foot to the ceiling. Inhaling, square the foot with your leg, and you can continue to move here at your own rhythm. Just follow in your own deep breath. slowly on your next inhalation as your foot becomes square with your leg. We're going to start with the inward-outward rotation of the right leg. So exhaling, outward rotation, toes will turn out. Inhaling, inward rotation, toes will turn in. But again, it's your entire leg that's moving. And you're just moving slowly at your own rhythm. Again, creating opening as you breathe and as you move into your right leg, your right hip. Maybe the lower right section of your back. And maybe you're creating openings everywhere in your body, so you don't have to limit yourself to the right leg, but that can be your focus. And slowly return the right foot to center. You may now remove the strap and hug your right knee to your chest. And again, just creating lots of space, lots of opening. If your left leg is extended on the floor, create as much room as you can between the right knee and the left heel. And slowly return the right leg beside the left leg. And take a moment to straighten up a little bit if you need to, and to establish and maintain again the gentle curve in your low back. And hugging your left knee to your chest. Again, place your strap against the ball of your left foot and extend the left leg up toward the ceiling. Press your heel away from you. Curl the toes up on the left foot. And again, just without moving yet, create, like feel where there's maybe need for opening in your left leg and your left hamstring. And just think about opening those areas. And when you're ready, you can start to move with the breath. So exhaling, ball of the foot to the ceiling. Inhaling, square the foot with your leg. Again, moving slowly at your own rhythm. Creating space, creating opening in your leg, in your being, in your entire body. Slowly return your foot so it's square with your leg. And again, we're going to continue with the outward and inward rotation of the leg. So as you exhale, you outwardly rotate your leg. As you inhale, you do an inward rotation. And again, you're just thinking about opening the left hip, the left side of your lower back, your left leg, and your entire body. We're using our practice tonight to create space. And slowly return your foot to center. Remove the strap and hug your left knee towards your chest. Again, creating as much room as you can between the left knee and the right heel. Keep on breathing. Just open. And slowly return the left leg beside the right leg. And for those of us who have our legs extended on the mat, we're going to bend the knees and place our feet at hip-width distance. And we're just going to plant our feet, anchor the soles of our feet nicely on the mat. Place your arms by the side of the body with the palms facing up or facing down, whichever feels right for you. And we're going to lift our hips just a little bit off the ground, so the middle spine is still on the floor. It's just the hips slowly lifted off the floor, and you're just going to swing your hips from side to side. You can start with a very small movement and slowly increase. So just moving your hips from the right to the left with the hips just slightly elevated from the floor. And slowly return to center with the hips still suspended above the ground. And then slowly return your hips on the floor. Take a moment again to straighten up, to make sure your spine is nice and straight, your head in line with your spine. And with a gentle curve in the low back, we're going to curl the toes up toward the ceiling and bring the right ankle on top of the left knee. Right knee opens forward, that's our hip opener. And then lifting the left foot off the mat, you can either weave your strap or weave your fingers behind your right thigh. And gently hug the right thigh towards your chest as you continue to open. Hug your left thigh towards your chest as you continue to open the right knee up towards the ceiling. And you're breathing nice and deep. And you're not forcing anything here. We're moving very slowly and totally experiencing what's happening in our right hip. And if at any point you feel like gently rolling from side to side, you can do that. And again, we're just moving slowly. If it makes sense to hug your left thigh a little closer to your chest because there's room for that opening, go ahead and do it. But if there isn't, don't force anything. We're just gently creating a sense of openness in our body. And with openness, if it's forced, it doesn't work out. So it's really important to really be mindful of where we're at. And if you were rolling from side to side, you can slowly come back to center. And then return your one foot and the other one back on the ground. And again, with your feet firmly planted on the ground, arms by your side, palms facing up or facing down. We're just going to do a few little mini bridges. So tilting the tailbone up toward the ceiling. Lift your hips and your spine off the ground. Just a very gentle movement. And then slowly return the spine to the ground. So it's just a gentle way to loosen the spine a little bit. Coming into this little mini bridge and then returning the spine to the ground. And you can do this one more time wherever you are with this move. And once your hips return on the ground again, so you're just lying on your back with your knees bent, we're going to create and maintain a gentle curve in the low back. And curling the toes up, we're going to move to the other side. So left ankle on top of right knee, left knee opens forward. Lifting your right foot off the ground, weave your strap or interlace the fingers behind the right thigh. And gently hug the right thigh towards your chest as you continue to open the left knee forward. And again, if it feels right for you to gently roll from side to side, go ahead and do that. And again, we're not forcing any opening. If it makes sense, slowly to hug your right thigh closer to your chest, that's totally fine. If it makes sense to just stay where you are, that's also totally fine. There's no reason to force anything. We're just gently inviting a sense of openness in our hips, in our low back. And slowly come back to center and return your one foot and your other foot back on the ground. And again, straightening your spine up if you need to. I invite you to grab your strap again. We're going to lift our feet off the ground with our knees bent. We're going to place the strap against the ball of both feet, keeping the knees bent. We're just going to shift the feet so the soles of your feet are more or less parallel to the ceiling. So your knees are bent, but your legs can be, they don't have to be bent at 90 degrees, whatever works for you. And then you're going to gently hug your thigh towards your chest by pulling on the strap. Again, you're not forcing. You're just gently pressing the feet against the strap, and the strap pulls in a little bit. Only go as far as what feels right for you. And once you're in the place where you feel like this is where you belong, we're going to start to do a little counter pressure. So I'm going to push my feet against the strap and resist with the strap. So I'm by no means forcing my thighs closer to my chest. I'm pressing the feet up and resisting with the strap. And as you do that, picture your low back, your tailbone lengthening all the way to the front of the room here. So just taking advantage of this stretch to really lengthen the low back. Creating space, creating openness in the low back. And as you do that, keep your shoulders nice and relaxed, your jaw nice and relaxed. Keep on breathing. And very slowly release the strap and hug your knees to your chest. Then you can gently roll from side to side. Again, as you roll, you can massage your low back, creating openness in the low back and the spine and your shoulders. And slowly come back to center. And I'm taking off my socks. If anybody was wearing socks and wants to take them off, that's fine. Return your feet to the ground. And we're going to roll on our side and come on all four to do a little bit of wrist warm up. As always, if you find that being on your hands and knees is hard on your knees, you can create a little wave with your mat. And we're going to place our hands flat on the ground. And then turn them out a little bit. And it could be right at 90 degrees or not quite at 90 degrees, doesn't matter. And hugging the floor with our hands, with every bits of every fingers, we're just going to start to slowly move from side to side. Maybe you rotate over each hand a little bit. And again, what we're doing is just finding ways to stretch our wrists, our hands, our arms in a way that is helpful. So you're moving very slowly here and paying complete attention to what's happening so that you don't push anything too far. Again, our goal is to gently open. And we move slowly and maybe front and back a little bit. And slowly come back to center. We're going to dial the hands down a little bit, or maybe you just land at 90 degrees here. It doesn't matter. Your fingertips may point all the way down to your knees, or they're pointing out, or anywhere in between. And again, we're just gently moving front and back, and side to side. We're moving slowly. We're paying complete attention to what's happening. We're drawing little circles above each hand, if that's helpful. Again, we're just warming up, waking up our arms, our hands, our wrists, and doing so in a very gentle way. Slowly coming back to center. We're going to lift our hands and take a moment sitting over your heels to just gently massage your wrists, your hands. Move your fingers. And we're going to return our hands on the floor. This time we're going to place the back of our hands on the mat. Again, if your hands are really close to your knees, you'll have barely any weight on them. The further you move away from your knees, the more weight, and that's entirely up to you what works for you today. And in that position, again, we're going to start to just make circles with our thumbs in one direction. Doesn't matter which one you start with. And then rotate the thumbs in the other direction. And place your thumbs back on the mat. And then we're going to start to tap the fingers, starting with the index fingers, tapping up and down. Again, feel what's happening in your hands and your wrists as you do that. And if you need to modify, tap not as hard, not as high, that's fine. Move to the middle finger. Again, feeling what's happening in your hands and your Just modifying if you need to. And moving to the ring finger. And finally the baby finger. And slowly lift your hands off the floor again and take a moment just to move your hands in whichever way feels right for you now. Gently massaging the wrists, the hands. And we're going to do a few mini push-ups, and you can do them on the outer edge of your hands or on your fists, whichever, again, is right for you. And again, the further your hands are from your knees, the more weight on them. And we're just gently bowing down and pressing up. You're moving slowly. Again, you're feeling, and if anything needs to be altered to feel better for you, you do that. And slowly coming back up. We're going to wrap our fingers around our thumbs, and we're going to put that part of the hand, the inside of the index and the knuckle of the thumb, down on the ground. Again, close or far to your knees, depending on what's comfortable for you. And we're just going to again move from side to side very slowly. Move up and down. Very slowly, don't push it. Only go as far as what is right for your hands, for your wrists. And if that's for you, maybe draw little circles above each hand. Slowly coming back to center, we're going to lift our hands again, move our fingers. And from here we're going to grab something to sit on. Maybe it's your blanket, some blocks, a cushion if you're at home, anything that works. And we're going to sit on the blocks for a moment and just do a few little shoulder openers. So sitting with your legs in whatever position, if it's one leg extended, one knee bent, or both legs bent, whatever, again, and you can change position as we go, we won't be here super long. And I'm going to reach my right hand and grab inside my shirt, my left hand, and grab my right trapezius, that muscle that connects the neck to the shoulder, and you're just going to squeeze that. Get a hold of it. Mine's very tight, so it's hard to squeeze, but do your best. And then turning the palm of your right hand up toward the ceiling, your right arm comes to the side of your body, and you just very slowly lift it up as you squeeze, as you keep squeezing and releasing. Just keep massaging that trapezius. And then slowly turn the palm down on the right hand and slowly move the hand back down towards the ground. And keep on squeezing and releasing. A few more squeezes. And then let go and place your arms by your side and just feel if there's anything going on in the right shoulder, the left, if anything feels better. This is a super gentle and easy stretch that you can do anytime. And reaching for the other side, so right hand reaches the left trapezius, left arm by your side, palm facing up. Again, just get that nice sense of squeezing and releasing. And then when you're ready, very slowly start to lift up. And turning the palm down, slowly start to bring the hand down. And once the arm is down, just give yourself a few more little squeezes. And then release. And take a moment with your arms on your hands on your thighs just to breathe. And again, as you breathe in and out, again, come back to that sense of openness. Each time that you inhale, you can feel the body widening, opening. And as you exhale, maintain that widening in your mind and just let the rib cage support the breath and gently contract. next, we're just going to reach our right arm above our head and bend the elbow. And you don't have to touch your back. So I'm going to turn my back like this. And then with the left hand, you're going to reach. And you're just doing as if you're washing your back. So you're not touching. You're just, practicing that mobility of where your hands can reach around your back. Lift the fingers up or down, like anything, just to move the arms around in that position. And then we're going to switch sides. So other arm goes up, other arms goes down. So one hand is the palm facing your back, the other hand, the back of your hand is facing the back. And again, just imagine you're trying to scrub your back. So you're moving up and down, side to side. Just practicing that mobility that we have in our arms and shoulders. And slowly release. And from here, we're just going to do a couple of down dogs. So we're going to move. If you were on blocks, you can move them off your mat. And we're going to start in a table position with our hands at shoulder width distance. And spreading your fingers nice and wide. And in your down dog, you can keep your wrists creases parallel to the short end of your mat, but if it feels better to angle your hands out a little bit, that's also fine. So you can play with that. We're going to do a couple down dogs just to warm up. And you can play with the position of your hands a little bit to see what's best for you today. And we're going to extend the right leg. Back toes on the ground, left leg, we're in plank pose. And slowly press back and up into downward facing dog. Our first down dog maybe in a long time. So be gentle with yourself. Keep the arms well anchored in the shoulder socket. Bending one knee, extend the other leg. Then switch sides a few times. Play today with widening our feet as wide as our mats. Staying in down dog, and again you can play with moving maybe your hips to one side, bending the knees, just playing with a little bit of movement in our down dog today. So knees can bend, hips can switch from side to side. And you can stay here if you want to experiment a little bit. Make sure your foot lands on the floor, but you can go even wider than your mat. And again, just bending and reaching from side to side. And slowly coming back to center, move your feet back in their original down dog position. And slowly bring your knees back on the ground. Hands are at shoulder width distance, knees at hip width distance, and let's just do a few spinal curls. So inhaling, arching the back, exhaling, rounding the back. Again, you're moving at your own rhythm here. We're just creating opening and warming up the body after a long hiatus from yoga for some of us. And slowly come back to center. And we're going to again extend the right leg and the left leg and come into plank. And then press back and up into downward facing dog. And in down dog again, the arms are well anchored in the shoulder socket. The legs are extended. Your heels don't need to touch the floor. And you can have a little bend in your knees if that's more comfortable for you in down dog. There's no big rules here. And on your next inhale, reach the right leg up toward the ceiling. It doesn't need to be super high. And in that position, let's do a little bit more of our leg rotating like we did at the beginning of class. So exhaling outward rotation. Your torso might rotate out a little bit. Inhaling inward rotation. So we're just moving the leg a little bit. Rotating in and rotating out. And slowly return that foot on the ground. Get your bearings, get solid in your four-legged down dog again. And inhale the left leg up. And again, a little bit of rotating of through that back leg. Let the torso follow the leg a little bit. If your torso opens out as you open the leg out and closes in as you turn the leg in, that's totally fine. And slowly return to center and return the left foot on the ground. Bring your knees on the floor for a moment again.